Hey Emily, this is Tan. This is a quick presentation about how I learn languages. I know English as my most academic and fluent language. I was born in Vietnam, so I can speak Vietnamese and read and write it at an intermediate level. I also know academic Spanish and social Spanish because I studied it for 8 years, lived in Spain for a year, and majored in it in university. But because I haven't used it as often, I'm losing my fluency. Closest to English would be surprisingly Lao, because the sentence structure is really easy, and I know the language pretty well because I lived there for 6 years. Because I know Lao, I also know Thai, but that's my least fluent and least confident language, because I can read the alphabet, I can have interactions, but it would be tough if I had extensive conversations. There are two phases that I wish I realized that I learned language. The first one is phase 1, and this is usually the word level. I consider language at this level just the first 100 most important words, and here are examples of the first 50 words. But for me, I focus on I, you, him, she, they, we, them, and also it. Then I move into social verbs. Go, eat, have, is, stop. There's many more than that, but these are the verbs that I hear most often, and these are the words that I need to communicate most often. Or when my friends are speaking to me in Lao in the beginning, they said, come here, or let's go, and so I heard the word go. And then the other one are details, like numbers, coordinate direction, days of the week, color, sizes, and no and yeses, because those are really helpful for interactions. The next thing I do is I make sure that I know the alphabet sounds, because this facilitates reading of words that I know and new words. So when I learned Lao, I tried to know it using English alphabet, trying to write in Lao, but it didn't work. So I learned the alphabet in Lao, looking at the characters, the little their alphabet, their Pali Sanskrit. And then when I knew how to say the alphabet, I was able to put them together and figure out, and then I was able to learn new words on my own. Phase 2 were sentence level interactions, sentence level. So I put simple sentences together that I learned from my noun, the verbs, and the details. Then I learned prepositional phrases, or things that expand my sentences just a little more, like before, because, after, then, if, while. Another one is reading simple now. Because now I can read alphabet at this level, and I understand sentences at this level, or what's a noun, what's a verb, and what's a detail, I'm able to read sentences, very simple sentences that start with noun, verb, details. I'm also able to, at this level, I have to learn who, what, where, when, why, how questions, because they develop interactions. And then I have level interactions with my friends now that I know the noun, verb, details of many words. And then I can also write sentence long text, but very simple, because I know the nouns, verb, and detail. The phase 2 and phase 1 really is all about, phase 1 is actually really about like me, the new language learner, and someone more proficient, and teaching me those really simple things. Sentence 2 is really about interactions. The more I interact with people, the better my language, whatever language I'm learning, becomes. So the takeaway for teachers is that I hope that there were different phases of language. And then within the different phases, there are different things we need to be teaching or keeping cognizant. And the second thing I want teachers to realize is that phase 1 builds up to phase 2, and phase 2 is really all about social interactions. The more interactions students can have, the faster they'll learn the language.